Good morning. This is Judy from Artistic Artifacts. We are in Alexandria, Virginia, and we're on the web. So we are starting our Facebook Live with just a couple really quick announcements. Next weekend, for those of you who are close to us or close enough to take a hop in the car and come visit us, Friday and Saturday of next week is our Creative Quest. We're going to have some demos. We'll have a discount on the store, which we'll announce when you get to the store. And we will have some projects in process. So one of the things that I really wanted to do was create some prayer flags. So we'll have a space and some people to help you create and contribute a prayer flag so that we can hang them around Artistic Artifacts. Because there's a lot of praying going on, whatever way you do it, with Mother Nature. So we want to do that. The following weekend is Finnabar, who is a mixed media teacher from Ireland. We have actually given her our final count. But we did buy a couple of extra kits. So maybe we have 2 more seats in any class. First come, first serve. But we are close to selling out and closing out and not accepting reservations. Finnabar creates kits, so you pretty much don't have to bring a big load of materials and everything. So that's why we had to give her a final count at this point. So if you want to sneak in there, I suggest you do it very quickly. Today, we have a very special person here to tell us about
the BERNINA Precision Ruler Guide Pro.
Yes, it is amazing. But before we get to that,
okay,
we have to talk about the fact that we've known each other for 12 years.
12 years.
12 years. And we met because we were vendors at Quilt Odyssey. So we were back to back.
That was in Hershey.
That was in Hershey, Pennsylvania. I've talked to you guys about the part, I miss the people. I don't miss the moving. I don't miss the hauling the stuff in. But I really miss the people because vendors become friends, become helpers. We all look out for each other, as well as the customers that we know come to certain shows for us. Yep. So Allan always had a BERNINA, for a long time. You've had long arms.
Since 2005, I've had long arms, but in 2017, I went out to the Creative Center in Chicago and got my dealer training, on the BERNINA Q24 on the Pro Frame with Q-matic. And over the years, I still had a day job back then. But actually, my wife has had a quilt shop for since 1989.
Right.
And over the years, when we first brought in long arms, I was the installer, the introduction to that. And once the BERNINA Q-matic came in, I kind of said, well, so much for my day job. And I've been working on this.
And you're quite a quilter, though.
Well, thank you.
What is it? Grandpa Quilts, which you had for a long time.
Right.
Now you're too busy packing boxes.
In fact, my UFOs to quilt are unbelievable because I've been working on the ruler system. There's critical ones that I need to do. And the one behind us here, this is what I would call maybe a traditional quilt. For those of you that do follow me, I do customized Q-matic, meaning I start with little pieces and I go block by block. My objective is to make my computerized quilting look like it was free motion. Well, I've added to that. I started putting rulers in there because I like to do straight lines with rulers versus Q-matic. You could do it with Q-matic, but I like to, massage the fabric as I'm quilting, and I can do that better with a ruler than in certain areas. So I've done it here. You look at these butterflies. By the way, I have a 6-month-old granddaughter, my wife and I do, and we're going up to New York, back to New York. We moved to Delaware, back to New York. Her baptism is on Sunday, and this will be her quilt. And her 2 older siblings says, make sure there's a lot of dots in there, so even the backing has it. And so this is actually a combination of Q-matic and ruler work. You look at the borders here. I mean, those are simple to do with this ruler system. And then, of course, the horizontal lines on the butterflies and the circular pebbles. That's Q-matic. So let's get to the product, okay, which is what a lot of people are here to hear about.
Hold on. Kyle's giving a cool close-up.
Okay.
All right, but wait a minute. Wait a minute. We still have to tell you, you have another job title. Inventor.
Oh, yes.
Allan is an inventor. So he invented this ruler with all of these gadgets and hands and locks. It's something you cannot find for any other product. It works with the Pro, BERNINA Pro, and this frame is awesome. And you're not going to find this anyplace else. It's very, very special. And what it allows you to do creatively is amazing. Now let's talk about the product and what it is.
By the way, why I created it was I was not very good at ruler work because, first of all, you got to press so hard. And I said, there's got to be a better way, a better mousetrap, if you will. And that's what we have here. The product itself includes 2 straight rulers, a 30-inch ruler here. How would you like to try to hold that with one hand? It would be impossible. But when we put it on the dead bar back here, notice we have a extra hand there that's holding it. So pivoting this ruler and following along, it makes it a lot easier to follow the quilt lines that you want to do. There's also an 18-inch ruler, 20-inch, actually 18 inches of quilting space. And like that border that we saw those on the traditional quilt that my granddaughter is getting, the 18-inch worked out great for that. On this, what I will call our first attempt at modern quilting, all right, I wanted to do some long lines. This quilt, it just consists of a series of 8-inch blocks. So 4 of them together is 16 inches. And notice that this ruler covers it completely. All right, and I'm going to be doing some demos on that. More importantly, there's an extension bar, because this is great being able to quilt from the top with a ruler. However, once you put that there on now I can take rulers and quilt from the side as well. And you'll see, excuse me, when I start quilting here, this is critical. Now I'm going to give credit to 3 special people, okay? Denise Jones, Donna Millars, and Jennifer Lowry. They're spread. Glad I got my bottle of water here. They're spread across the country. In the roughly 2.5 years it took to develop this, they were instrumental in testing the product, the prototypes and that. Great ideas. And I remember Denise Jones, when she saw this, and I don't know if you're watching, Denise, but I still remember your words, and they were, this is the game changer right here. It lets us come from the side as well. Yeah. There's one other individual I want to call out. Definitely couldn't have done it without him. His name is Rick Mason. He's over there in Australia. He's the 3D CAD designer that, Rick, I don't know if you're watching, but man, have you done a great job on the design of the ruler clamp here, as well as the extension bar clamp. And
that's a really important position. I mean, if you look at how this is created, and this fits BERNINA Pro. This does not fit anything else. There's no wobble in it. It's very strong. This is customly designed specifically for this machine. It's not one of those things that you have the clamp and you do the tests and you have some wobble in it and everything. These are absolutely, coming from the automotive business, this is pretty freaking severe. This is awesome.
So the product consists of those 3 pieces. I was at QuiltCon in Raleigh last spring, and I saw this quilt. I'll let Kyle zoom in on it a little bit. And I walked by that quilt. By the way, this was on the cover of the QuiltCon brochure. It's by Jackie Gearing. Jackie, you did a great job on that quilt. When I looked at it and the black ring, I said, I can do that. And so if you look right here, that's the start of this. And I'm actually going to use the rulers to show you how easy it is to do. Now, this is a ruler. Let's talk a little bit of safety. Number one, make sure you have a ruler foot. Here we're using the 96 foot. That's the one, that's my go-to. If you wanted to use Echo clips on it, they work great. Bernina's got great products here. I tend to use it just with the 96 foot. Underneath here is the ruler base. So I have a good, nice surface. I actually use this all the time with Q-matic as well, because it allows me to massage the fabric without distorting it. The other thing, when you're, I'll show you what you don't do. You don't try to do ruler work holding the ruler down here and just moving that. Your fingers still need to be following that, the foot here, so there's no chance of it, the ruler going underneath it or above it. So those are critical points. So the retail shops that are watching in, it's a good chance to give your customers a little training on using rulers. So without further ado, I think we're going to start this thing up. Now, if, and Kyle, if you can get in here, that was a start point and a stop point, and so was this. There's two of them. There's going to be a third one here that I'm going to use, and we'll go around several times, and that will complete it. So the first thing I would do is put my, what am I hitting on here? Okay, we didn't
advance it enough?
Yeah, I think I'm catching, oh, I know what I'm catching on.
Carl, jump in here.
Now I'm catching on those pins that I have.
Ah, okay.
There we go. Which reminds me, when you get one of these, and you're going to want it, you're going to want to leave space up here so that I can get right up and quilt at the top of the quilt here. So your backing fabric needs to be up there.
And you're going to need a BERNINA Pro Frame to go with this ruler, so you're going to want both of them.
Now, this happens to be the Q24. We've actually extended the belly bar out another 2.25 inches. So we have the full length, which is a little over 18 inches of the Q24. And the ruler base does not interfere with that. So let me get back there. Let me do, so I'm going to go on the undone one. Down, pull that up. We'll lock that in. All right. So we've also got these quilt clamps here. I free float quilts. And if I turn this down, it's still holding the quilt and it doesn't interfere with the ruler. So now I have it counted out how many of these steps where I'm going to go next. And it's actually 15. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And I'm going to put this little flower pin there. And why do I do that? So that I can remember where I want to go to. So if you don't have any like flag pins, you're going to want to get those. All right, notice I put that right against that ruler, and I want to get over there so I can actually take a little pressure off, and I use that as a pivot point, and I'm going to judge that that's about 1/4 inch where I'm going to land. I'm going to leave the flower pin there, and then I'm going to BSR2. I'm doing 10 stitches per inch. Let me get my thread out of there.
You want scissors? You want to trim it?
I think so. There we go. All right. So here we go. Now, I know where I'm coming, but look what happens when I get, see that flower pin? It gave me a flag there. So I'm going to pull the flower pin out. I'm also going to do another test to see if I think that's about a 1/4 inch. So it looks good to me. So when I come, I stop right there. All right. So now let's do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Right there. So I now know that I couldn't reach that here, but enter the extension bar. I like to slide it by holding this end as well. Hold that down a little bit. I'll bring this guy up. You want to make sure it's connected there. I use that pivot point again. I'm going to move that flower pin over there. And notice I can just come up right there, judge my 1/4 inch. And here we go. It's okay to stop. Notice I stopped in a seam line there in case it's not quite perfect. Oh, there's that flash again. And yep, I'm still there, looking good. I don't like to tighten this down too hard because I like to slide the rule. If you have a little wonky quilt, now I don't have wonky quilts because my wife is a perfectionist. So is my granddaughter, okay? Their piecing is perfect, okay? Right, dear? All right. Now, here's one. Looks like I'm going to be going back up to the top. Because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now you see that benefit of that flower pin. Now I have a decision to make. Do I want to stitch on, basically stitch on which side? And I'm actually going to put this up here. Move this around here. You're seeing the flexibility of moving.
Can go either side,
either side, either top. You still, here's another ruler tip. I actually don't listen to music because I might get involved in the music and I'll do a wander and move off the ruler. You have to concentrate it. So again, this becomes my pivot point. It looks like I'm right about a 1/4 inch. So now we're going to go up. And you see that we're starting to complete. Oh, there went that flag again. I think I can now just move that ever so slightly. And go. All right. So here's a little improvisation. I am gonna, if you can't fix it, we feature it. I needed to go just a little bit more up. All right. And let's get that scissors. Here's my neat little thread catcher here I use. I don't want thread all over the quilts.
I think you very calmly kept going and figured out where you need to be. Didn't all panic like some of us newbies do.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, look at that. Hasn't been hit yet. I will probably post up in the BERNINA Facebook groups that I'm a part of and let you know some of the calculations of how I knew 15 would work and things like that. But we won't get into that today. there I'm looking down here now, and that looks like about a 1/4 inch. Oh, when I put that back, I didn't tighten it up. I'm verifying 1/4 inch. Yeah, we might, didn't get any wonkiness in our line there. Bingo. And now we would be back again. I would be connecting over here. And
bring it across.
In fact, actually, let me do one more because...
Let's take a minute and see if there's any questions.
The only question that came through another way was about the scissors that you were using.
Okay, there was a question on what scissors I'm using. They're Havels, and notice I can come down. I don't have to worry about cutting the quilt, and they come in an extra large size. So you male quilters out there, there's 2 sizes, and get the larger one. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And notice I'm actually going to attach this way down here. I can do the pivot. And now I just move this up there and see that pivot relationship. And now I'm at a 1/4 inch. So here we go. And you're starting to see there's that flag that went down. So I'll take that out of the way, check the distance, looks good. And for you subtle people, if you notice, I actually was able to glance at my watch and see we've got about 8 minutes left. So we're going to take a little break here, or not a break, but a time for
questions.
Questions, if you have anything to add.
Yeah, I do. Questions, Kyle's got 2. Okay.
Let me start at the beginning here. Are you using the extended base to help support the ruler?
Definitely. It's called the ruler base, and that's mandatory.
Yeah.
You do not use rulers without that extended base. That
regardless of the size and shape.
Even without this product, that's true. So the things you learned from using rulers, with one exception, I don't put stickies underneath this ruler because I like to slide it. And secondly, if you're probably pushing pretty hard on those rulers, you do not have to push as hard on this ruler.
How many degrees of turn does the ruler allow?
Carl, you would ask it. How many degrees of rulers? How many degrees of turns? Oh, I can't get that. We'll come over here and use this one. Notice I can go all the way up there and all the way there. So the answer is 180 degrees.
Wow.
Half of a circle. By the way, you don't necessarily have to have anything. Where are you going to store these long rulers? Okay. You don't really, even though there's a hole in here for hanging, notice I could just slide it up there, and I could do my, if I was doing Q-matic, I could fire up Q-matic, leave the ruler there. All right. The extension bar, no, you're going to need to move that out of the way. Good question.
What other question did you have, Kyle?
Did you stitch a circle with reference marks before starting the ruler work?
Yes, I did. Good eye. If you look at the screen over here, I actually have the Q-matic screen up. And we'll put that in the center. And I definitely will show you in Q-matic, I created the circle by using 48 line segments with an extra line at the end, and then just went around that circle and attached. Once I had 3 of them together, then I could attach those with the Q-matic function, the connect function, And then once I got a 1/4 done, then I rotated that 90 degrees and put the next one in, and then I copied that and rotated it, and now I've stitched those. And if you come right over here, Kyle, you can see this one is when I'm demoing it today here at Artistic Artifacts, which, by the way, guys, is a great store here in Alexandria. Thank you, Judy, for letting me come here. I will actually cover that up, because if you look up here, you can barely see, where that
it's not
is
noticeable.
connected.
It's not noticeable. Okay, so there's a question about if you have a Pro Frame and your head is a Q20, this rulers will still work, right?
Definitely.
Absolutely. It's the Pro Frame that is the required. BERNINA is required, but it's the BERNINA Pro Frame. This
Right.
will not work on the studio frame at this point. So it's all
Key operative word there, at this point. We can't say that, right?
I can't say that. But the everything is geared to the channeling that is on the Pro Frame. So
Right.
yes, the question was the Q20. Q20 will work. Q24 will work also.
I believe you will still want to extend your belly bar with the Q20, because what you don't want to do is lose throat space.
Right.
All right.
Right. That's why the Q24
So
is nice.
this is completely out and on the Q24. And notice why 25.5 inches here,
Yeah.
so that it rests. Those are little subtleties.
Yeah.
My first extension bar probably ended here, and it was hitting the quilt. So
Yeah.
this is
Yeah, that
nice,
goes right
supported,
to the
nice
bar.
and level.
That's great.
Another question. How close together can the lines go? Your quilting lines, like matchstick quilting?
What? Let me get this out of here.
And Carter says, "Hi, Grandpa."
Hi, Carter. Oh, the question. Well, I don't know if everybody heard what the question was how close. Now, I really don't have time to demonstrate that in detail, but on this design here, notice I'm coming here, and so depending on how close you want to do, that's the capability. So excellent question.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to try some of that. I'm learning
Yeah.
how to use this thing by actually doing this modern quilt here. I would love feedback on this quilt that we're doing, and I think it's starting to look like a modern quilt. So, and I can't wait to see what you guys do. So definitely share those out when you start creating, either on a modern quilt like this, or back to that traditional quilt that we looked at earlier. One other thing, when I started this yesterday, actually 2 days ago on my system, and I took it off and drove up to Virginia last night, and we put it on here, and I wanted to bind this so that it didn't flop all over. So I said, well, maybe I'll do a basting stitch. But instead, what I did, using the ruler, I did stitch in the ditch. So this is going to be a challenge, Kyle. If you come over here.
Did the stitch stay in the ditch?
Well, I have never done stitch in the ditch before. So let's look at this section here. I'm off a little bit there. And I think that looks pretty good. And that's my first attempt at stitching the ditch over that length.
With the ruler. That's
so
cool.
I just left it there. I didn't have to take out the basting stitch.
No.
So that's another thing you can do with this ruler.
All right. I got a couple questions. What's the one about the frame?
How do you extend the frame?
Okay, I think that's is that an easy answer?
It's not an easy answer, but there's three BERNINA groups on Facebook that I'm a part of. I have a post out there to show that. I've got pictures, and actually, if you zoom down here, it's these two bolts, this bolt and this bolt. You probably want another person helping you, and you move it out. This little pencil mark here was where the original one and we moved it out just a shade over about an inch and 2 3/8 inches, I think.
Okay.
And I have a post out there. If you search like BERNINA Q-matic or BERNINA long arms for my name, you'll find that. Or you could say extending belly bar, maybe even just put belly bar in there and you'll find that post. It's from about 2 years ago.
Okay.
One last question.
Well, and then I have.
How do you know you have a BERNINA Pro?
It looks like this. It's got black bars. It has the T-slot.
T-slot.
Here's the thing. It's got the same T-slot that we have here.
And the studio frame is usually white.
It's white and round bars.
It's white, and the bars connect. Not
and
what?
At least right now, this doesn't work.
Yes.
The studio.
Yeah.
Patience.
Patience. Patience. Okay, so we have some of these kits, rulers in store at Artistic Artifacts. So the kit contains the 3 pieces with the amazing custom hardware that works with this. And what the best part is, we have Allan here today until about 3-ish to demonstrate his product and show you how it works. And you can pick up the ruler and take it home with you. So the ruler kit is 3 pieces. So it is all 3 of those pieces. And we have the privilege of having Allan here demonstrating today. So
comes in all packaged up and
ready to go. And you know, that's not a bad storage system. You put it back in the box.
Right.
The box is really awesome. So this is the BERNINA Pro ruler. And we know
BERNINA Precision Guide
ruler.
Pro.
Sorry. What was that again? Say it again.
BERNINA, I'm going to read it.
That would be the safe thing to do.
Precision Ruler Guide Pro.
There we go. So come and see us today at Artistic Artifacts and meet Allan and be able to see his invention. So thanks for joining us.
And those of you out in internet land, hopefully you got a chance to see what we were doing here. Do a shout out on those BERNINA Facebook groups to me. I'd love to hear you.
Yep, sounds good. Thank you very much for joining us.